Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Satnam Singh and I'm here with Andy Street today, who's running for Mayor on May the 4th. Andy, over to you.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ka Fateh. So Sati, it's great to be here today, and thank you very much for the opportunity of coming on your TV programme.
Fantastic. Thank you for being here, and we're always supporting yourself. And, you know, just before we go further, I do wish you the very best in your campaign.
Thank you. It's very generous.
So, Andy, please, I'm going to start off straight away with the first question. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why have you decided to go for the role of Mayor?
So my story is that I grew up in Birmingham, in Northfield, Solihull School in Edgbaston. Then I went off for a business career, and I was lucky enough to work for John Lewis, worked from the shop floor as a trainee up to being MD, Managing Director of the company. Was managing it for about the last 10 years, and you can ask me about that if you want, but the key point is I gave that up last October and decided that I would step forward to offer to serve as Mayor simply because I think this is a brilliant opportunity for our region, and I think the region really needs someone of proven leadership ability to step forward and lead us as a group. Perfect.
And in your plans and in your decision to going forward for a mayor, what kind of infrastructure are you looking at? And I can see that you've got £8 billion to spend within the area. It's quite a lot of money. Can you talk to me about that, please?
Yeah. So the story goes like this: that I'd been working in the region as chair of the Local Enterprise Partnership, which was a body that was designed to drive the economy forward. Business people leading it with local politicians, with local academics. And that was relatively successful for Birmingham and Solihull over the last 5 years.
Wow.
But then we came together with politicians across the whole of the region to create the combined authority and create the mayor. And a deal was struck with central government where we said, we'll have a mayor, we'll have a combined authority. And they said, and you have new powers and new investment, £8 billion of investment funds to make your promises real. So we're at that point now, and so the mayor will have those new powers and new funds.
Excellent. And just touching on that, because I know you've got the new funds, it says that when you do become mayor, and if you do become mayor, what kind of meaningful employment jobs will you create then for the sector and for Birmingham as a whole?
Okay,
well,
so
West Midlands as a whole.
Remember, it's the West Midlands.
West Midlands, I do apologise.
Yes,
West Midlands as a whole.
Right. Yeah, okay. So what I've said in my manifesto or renewal plan, as we talk about, is the real objective of the mayor is to restore the West Midlands economy to the leading economy in Britain. We've been that in the past, but actually we've fallen back down relatively. And we're beginning to revive, but we've got to actually create many more jobs. And the way we will do that is we will actually look at the sectors that are growing in the future. So where are the new jobs going to be?
Right.
And they're going to be in advanced manufacturing, they're going to be in digital sectors, they're going to be in professional services, they're going to be in new industries like life sciences, and we will make sure that we, in the public sector, back the private businesses in those areas. So there'll be well-paid jobs and sustainable jobs.
Brilliant. And just for the viewers, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਦਸਤਕਾਰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ, ਐਂਡੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਬਈ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੋਟ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪਾਓਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਜੇ ਇਹ ਮੇਅਰ ਬਣੂਗਾ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਜੌਬਾਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਆ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ, ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਬਰਮਿੰਘਮ ਤਾਂ ਵੈਸਟ ਮਿਡਲੈਂਡਸ ਏਰੀਆ 'ਚ ਹੋਗੀਆਂ, ਤਾਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਵੀ ਚੱਜ ਦੇ ਹੋਗੇ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੌਬ ਵੀ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ, ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਐਸੀ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਟ੍ਰੇਨਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦੀ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜੌਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਿਲਾ ਵੀ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਬਟ ਇਹ ਉਦੋਂ ਹੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਜੇ ਐਂਡੀ ਮੇਅਰ ਬਣੂਗਾ ਮੇਅਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਦੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰੋ ਤਾਂ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਪਾਓ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ। Andy, I was just, reiterating the message about the way that you're going to create jobs, and you'll provide the right platforms for people to go in and make Birmingham and the West Midlands as a whole a very fruitful and dynamic place. I'll move on to quite swiftly to the next question. How have you been engaging with the Sikh community throughout your campaign?
So as I said a moment ago, I gave up my job of running John Lewis back in October. Right. So I've had 6 months on the campaign trail. And I thought 6 months was important because this is a new job. We needed people to understand what the mayor could do.
Yeah.
So during that period, I've been out and about meeting all sorts of communities, but have spent a lot of time with the Sikh community. So I've obviously been to Gurdwaras and have been on Vaisakhi parades, the Guru Nanak birthday procession in Sandwell as well. So Gurdwaras across Wolverhampton, Coventry, Birmingham. And most important as well, I've also met a lot of eminent Sikh businessmen and professionals. I've seen the contribution the Sikh community makes there.
Yes.
And very importantly as well, I've seen the Sikh community work. So a great example would have been Langar Aid in Coventry, for example. So I've really understood that the values of the Sikh community are actually very community spirited, and they're actually very consistent with the Conservative Party values as well. So it's actually been an enormous privilege to learn more about that over the last few months.
Excellent, excellent. And in regards to, for yourself and for you moving forward, how important is the Sikh community for you in general?
Oh, it's absolutely critical, because if you look at the number of Sikhs across the West Midlands, first of all, there are a lot of Sikhs. Of course that's important, but far more significant than that, what I want to do as Mayor is generate a community here in the West Midlands where we can say we're economically successful, but most importantly, we're also the best integrated community of anywhere in Britain. And I can already see that the Sikh community is leading that integration in many areas. And so you are absolutely the vanguard of our mission to prove that we can create this community that works for everybody.
And that's a perfect answer, because my next question was going to be, how well has the Sikh community integrated into the community for yourselves as such? But looking at it at a grand scheme of things and to the wider picture, if things do not go your way and you do not become mayor, what will you do?
What will I do if I don't become mayor? Well, I can look you in the eye, Sati, and say there is, as I say, no plan B.
Right.
So I don't know the answer to that. I think possibly a nice few weeks off, maybe on a beach in Wales or something, would be my perfect escape. But no, there is no plan B.
Right.
And again, there's a serious point behind that. New job, important job. I'd got to give 100% to it. That's
Definitely.
why I walked out of my job. It's why I've spent 6 months out and about across the region, and I've tried to get our message across. So there is no plan B.
And I think you know, that's a bold statement, where you've left such a high-powered job for John Lewis as a managing director, and you've come onto the campaign trail to be the mayor of West Midlands and to give back to the community and to support the community that you grew up in. So, you know, I think from your actions there, you can see how seriously and how committed you are to achieving that. I'm going to speak to you about an agency that there are within the Sikh community. It's called the Sikh Helpline.
Oh, yeah.
What will you do to work with such Sikh agencies within the community to help on situations like sexual grooming, domestic violence, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, racial abuse? You know, these kind of things are quite strife within the community, and as a Sikh religion, you know, as practicing Sikhs, this is, they are baptised and they have the 5 kakars, which one of those is a daggered sword. And, you know, what would you do to raise awareness about that? Because it's a legal part of weaponry that they can use. But again, not many people in the schools or the jobs are quite educated on that. I mean, how would you support that?
So you asked me about the helpline.
Yeah.
So let's just concentrate on that for a moment. Clearly, that's run by the community, which is brilliant. I've got to admire that. And the police have to act upon the outcomes, and I know you're working closely with the police. Well, so what's the role of the mayor? I think the role of the mayor is to set the tone about all of these things, about tolerance, inclusivity. So I'm not saying I would personally act on the outcomes of the helpline, but I do think it's very important that I make it absolutely clear in our region there is absolutely no tolerance for some of the things you've talked about.
Perfect.
And the mayor can set a tone. It can sort of lead, he can lead from the top, and then others can actually fill in the implementation of that. But I think it's very important we all live in a society where the tone is set clearly.
Perfect. So, putting those questions aside, what else do you want to achieve from this other than the £8 billion investment that you've got, creating the jobs, looking at your transport? What is the other further goal?
Well, the big picture here is that I want this to be the region of the country which is the most successful, very clearly, and I'm happy to be judged on that. We've said in our manifesto we'll create 25,000 homes in the first 3 years. We've said we'll transform public transport here. We've said we'll enable young people to get the skills to move into new jobs, and we will strive to eradicate youth unemployment. By the way, we're already halfway to that in the last 4 years. So those are clear objectives that we've talked about. But the really big picture is I want people to feel so proud of the region that they're growing up in and they're fulfilling their lives in. Because, to be honest, we've not done as well as we should have done
Right.
over recent decades, and I want us to restore that pride. And one of the ways in which you do that is the mayor gets out there and tells the story and champions what brilliant things go on here, championing it in London to win further investment and championing it around the world. So I want your viewers to think, who's the person who could best shout up for us, tell our story, be the front man, the centre forward really for our region as we restore our leadership position.
Perfect. And my final question before I give you your stage for you to give your final thoughts. There's a lot of conversation and a lot of doubts about the Brexit. What's your take on that? And
on Brexit?
Yeah.
So my take is that the electorate has spoken.
Yeah.
They've cast their decision, which is that we are leaving. So whether we agreed with that or not before the referendum, the job now is to make a success of that decision.
Yeah.
And I stand foursquare behind the Prime Minister in saying that that is what has to be done.
Yes.
And there is a distinct role for the mayor in doing that. So the mayor has got to be the person who actually tells the Prime Minister and her negotiating team what really, really matters to the West Midlands.
Yes.
Whether it be about business needs or whether it be about the question of rights of people to reside here. So the mayor has to tell that story really, really clearly. The other thing the mayor has to do is get out there and win the new, with businesses, and win the new export contracts.
Right.
This is a region of the world that has always traded, and I'm very confident we can do that, particularly with India and Pakistan, and that's why I've been out there to start building those relationships with those countries.
Perfect. Well, Andy, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. It's very nice to have met you, and I wish you the best on come 4th of May, and I hope you do win. But before you leave, if there's anything you want to say to the viewers, please take your time and give them a final message.
You've given me a great opportunity, but I think I'd just leave you with one thought. This is a new job, a new opportunity for the region, and I hope you will just reflect on who's got the sort of background, the values, to be able to lead our region and actually deliver on the promises that have been made. And I genuinely believe I can do that. And if you do elect me, it will be a genuine honour and privilege to serve this region. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And that's from myself, Satnam Singh and Andy Street. Please go out there, do elect the candidate to become the Mayor of the West Midlands. He has amazing plans, amazing stories, and amazing prospect to bring jobs, security to the West Midlands. From myself, Satnam Singh, Andy Street, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.